Hello, Charlie Platt along Rick Stewart. Welcome to Southeastern Television Wrestling, and what an outstanding lineup we have today. Before we get into that, we do have some big news.
Yes, indeed. Several injuries in the Southeastern area, including Billy Spears and Jerry Stubbs. We'll be taking a look at the videotapes that feature those two matches a little bit later this hour.
Plus, we'll have an update on Mr. Stubbs' condition and some comments from the man who's responsible for that injury. That is his former partner, I guess we would say, Arn Anderson.
Yes. Now, before we get into the television card, we'd like to take a time out just at the very start of the show to say a special hello to a young man by the name of Chris Butters. He's a young man in the Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Pensacola, Florida. He watches the show every week. Speedy recovery to you, Chris, and big hello from all your friends at Southeastern Wrestling.
You're right. Best from all of us, Chris. Coming up in the next hour, we'll be seeing the Rat Patrol Incorporated in action.
Plus, we'll be seeing a familiar face returning to the Southeast after a big tour of the West Coast. Randy Rose is back. He'll be wrestling on Southeastern Wrestling today as well.
Quite a successful tour that was. Randy capturing many championships on the West Coast. We'll also see Porkchop Cash, Jimmy Golden, the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, and a host of others. So join us for an action-packed hour. Southeastern.
We are sick and tired of being avoided, being first match. We're championship material. We want a title match with somebody, you know who it is. Tell them, Tuski.
These guys have been avoiding us for the longest time. You know we have gone out and beaten everybody we've come in contact with. I mean everybody. You got that? And these guys are avoiding us, putting us on the first match. Who ever heard of such a thing? Let me tell you something, boy. I told you we're going to take things in our own hand, and that's exactly what we're going to do. You understand that one?
Yes, sir.
I hope you do.
I think they're referring to the Fall Spectacular coming up in the arena, and they do want that Southeastern Tag title match with the Rat Patrol Incorporated. The comments of Wrestling 1 and 2. Right now, let's go to the ring for our first match of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's first match is one fall to 10-minute time limit. Your referee is Larry Brock. Now in the ring at a combined total of 457 pounds, Steve Miller and Tommy Gilbert. Their opponents at a combined total of 680 pounds, the Rat Patrol Incorporated.
All right, the Rat Patrol Incorporated in action on our opening match today on Southeastern Television Wrestling. Wrestling 1 and 2 out a moment ago, and Wrestling 2 making his point very clear, loud and clear about wanting a Southeastern Tag Team Championship match with the Rat Patrol Incorporated. But I'll remind Wrestling 2, if he's listening in the back on the monitor, that neither Rick nor myself have anything to do with booking of the matches in the arenas, and because that he and his partner are opening match on the Fall Spectacular coming to the arena this week, has nothing to do with Rick Stewart or Charlie Platt, I can assure them, and they need to speak with someone else.
Exactly. He needs to get on the phone to the promoter just like everyone else and get his proper match. Oh, Johnny Rich was waiting for that. Tommy Gilbert tried the backdrop, but Johnny managed to put that boot up and knock him to the canvas. This Rat Patrol has really taken off in the last couple of weeks, holding on to those Southeastern Tag Team titles. High leapfrog from Johnny Rich, a drop kick that sends Tommy Gilbert to the mat. And I think it's those lightning fast moves and that good teamwork, Charlie, that these guys are going to be hard to beat for those tag team titles.
Very hard to beat, and Johnny Rich in there against Tommy Gilbert. And a lot of bad blood in the ring right now, because Gilbert has certainly been irate over the loss of that United States Junior Heavyweight Championship belt. Good takedown by Miller. Side headlock on Tommy Rich. Johnny Rich, we should say. Oh, look at this.
belly-to-back suplex that just drilled Steve Miller backwards into the canvas. Big match coming up in this fall spectacular for the Rat Patrol. They've got the former Florida champion and a guy that's no stranger, Ron Bass and the Flame. What a team to defend their titles against.
Talking about super heavyweights.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
You're going with two that go in there close to 300 pounds apiece. And both of those men for 300-pounders, they can move around in that ring.
Tonga Kid on the offensive against Steve Miller, a flamboyant. Now, look at this. Tonga just throwing Miller back into the corner. Come on in, Gilbert. And these two are, you can tell they've got a lot of respect for each other's ability, the wary way they circle each other around the ring.
Going into grip side headlock, Tommy Gilbert takes control. Trying to wear Tonga Kid down. What an exceptional young athlete, and what a definite asset to the Rat Patrol Incorporated, Tonga Kid.
Let's not forget to mention the fact that they do and they have. Oh, look at that. Boy, what a takedown.
Gilbert.
Tonga Kid has ankle chipped him or something, but he sent Gilbert right outside of the ring.
Gilbert straight out on the floor. You heard the thud in the background. Mr. Gilbert slowly, I see one hand coming up.
And those innovative maneuvers like that is really what helps the Rat Patrol out. You never know where they're coming from. By the way, we'd like to say that a little bit later on the show, Porkchop Cash. And Porkchop Cash is the new Alabama State Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. He won the title in Pensacola, Florida. And the fans are really starting to take to this guy as well.
In the ring now, it's Miller coming in. Collar and elbow, good trip takedown, leg trip by Tonga Kid. Tag is made with Johnny Rich. Arm twist and drag.
And Johnny Rich now in control of Steve Miller on the canvas. Notice how he keeps Steve Miller's head down where he can get the most leverage out of it. Now Johnny switches, drives that knee hard into the upper shoulder. Good teamwork from the Rat Patrol.
Tonga Kid coming down hard on that left arm and shoulder of Steve Miller. Good takedown, follows up with that leg right over the arm and into an arm bar. Go ahead. I'd like to remind all the fans that, Rick, this week, very special, big event coming up in the arena, Fall Spectacular. And I'd like to also say that it's an outstanding lineup of pro wrestlers for the Fall Spectacular, and there will be no increase in
you know it. It seems to me, Charlie, that things are really here at the boiling point in the Southeast. But there are several big injuries, all the big title matches coming, new stars in and out, and we're getting a lot of wild action in the ring right now. Tommy Gilbert taking over on this Tonga Kid, just hammering him with right hands to the forehead.
Tonga Kid caught that shoulder smash by Gilbert down on the canvas again. Gilbert up and over his man. Whoa! Tonga Kid catches Gilbert. That'll slow the former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion down somewhat, and Tonga Kid grabs a side headlock on Tommy Gilbert. You were mentioning new stars coming in, some new stars, some familiar faces, and some familiar faces that we know mean business when they come around.
Oh, you know
Randy Rose.
We've seen him in various combinations just really wreak havoc here in the Southeastern area. Anybody that can remember back to a couple of summers ago when the Midnight Express was running a rampage all over the Southeast. We'll be seeing him just a couple of minutes away here on Southeastern Wrestling.
Right now, the Tonga Kid in a bit of trouble with Gilbert being hurled into that turnbuckle. Gilbert right on top of his man, dropping that elbow into the back of the head and neck. Now working on the back, and Gilbert knows, a veteran and crafty individual in that ring. His mind constantly ticking. He's got the Tonga Kid where he needs him, and he's going to have to continue the attack.
Now the tag to his partner, Steve Miller. Miller continuing to work on the neck of the Tonga Kid. Tonga, wait a minute, brings him up and down into an atomic drop.
That shows the inexperience of Miller in this particular situation. He did not follow through, did not go to the back like Gilbert had started, and gave the Tonka Kid just a few seconds of breathing room.
And that's all he needs right there. Johnny Rich, lateral press from a drop kick. He's right on top of Gilbert. Gilbert tried to break it up, and now Johnny Rich, Tonka Kid is in, and they're taking care of some business here.
Tonka Kid on Miller. It's Johnny Rich and Gilbert on the outside of the ring.
Tonka Kid now with Steve Miller, drills that elbow. Oh! Big backhand chop on Steve Miller. Rich is down. He got jammed, and wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here comes Scott to take a couple of swings at Tommy Gilbert of his own.
Now it's the Tonka Kid.
He hit him with a flapjack or something, Charlie. Out of the dressing room came Wrestling One. It looked like a blackjack or maybe a sock full of coins, but whatever it is, it's knocked Scott completely out.
They've got Rich tied up in the ropes. Scott Armstrong is out on the floor. Now, wait.
They're going for Tonka. Oh! Dragon and shoulder blade first into the steel post that holds up the ring. Johnny Rich being counted at the side, and I think Tonka's hurt.
And they need some help out here bad. Here comes Bob Armstrong, Porkchop Cash, and Jimmy Golden. And quickly, 1, 2, and Gilbert scramble from the ring.
Charlie, Tonka, look at the way he's grabbing that arm. We may have an injury here.
I tell you, well, look at Scott Armstrong, too, but they both men, full force, drug Tonka right into that metal post, which the way the squaring on the metal is, it could have done some damage to that bone up there on top of the shoulder.
Referee Larry Brock just informed me that the Rat Patrol is the official winner of the match from outside interference. We really need to get, I'll tell you what, let me go back to the dressing room, see if, when they get Tonka back there, to see if he's hurt or not, okay?
Okay, all right. He is definitely having to have a lot of assistance out of the television studio, as is Scott Armstrong and Johnny Rich, and we'll try to get an update on this situation. Many people with the Tonka Kid right now, and we'll be back with more Southeastern Television Wrestling in just a moment.
Don't miss the excitement this Monday night at 8 o'clock when the Fall Spectacular comes to Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. You'll see Rick Gibson and Pete Johnson meet Wrestling 1 and 2. U.S. Junior title, the Rat Patrol and Tommy Gilbert. Arn Anderson and Mike Jackson. Alabama State title, Porkchop Cash meets the Eliminator. Special event, Jimmy Golden and the Ontario Mauler. Southeastern Tag Team titles, the Rat Patrol defends against Ron Bass and the Flame. Continental title, Bob Armstrong meets Randy Rose. And Southeastern Heavyweight Championship as Austin Idol defends against Boris Zurkoff. Monday night at Boutwell Auditorium.
In the arena, and no increase in admission. Would also remind you that still to come a lot of great action.
Excuse me just a minute, Charlie. Excuse me, I want that card changed. I don't care what you have to do, who you got to see. We want Wrestling 1 and Wrestling 2. They come out there trying to make a name for themselves, whatever they're trying to do. They want a shot at them belts. Well, baby, you got it anywhere you want it. You heard us? That's right. You're fooling with the wrong people now. You heard one of our guys, and you can have a title shot anytime you want to.
That's right, brother. I don't blame him. His collarbone is definitely broken. He's got a knot on it that big. It's definitely broken. As far as Randy Rose popping back in here and wanting a shot at this title, tell him to come on. When it's all over, I may lay a rose on his chest and they can carry him out. Bring him on.
All right, Bullet Bob Armstrong and Johnny Rich saying that Tonka Kid's collarbone is broken. As far as getting the matches changed in a new lineup in the arena, or someone will have to be on the
Don't touch your TV set. That's right, Randy Rose is back. And I ain't starting at the ground floor, baby. We want to know what the big boys eat. I start from the top and ride down the elevator. And just to show you, Bob Armstrong, I'm going to persuade this young man here in the ring. Take him.
Go ahead, tell him about it, baby.
Well, we got them where we want them. We told you we was going to take things into our own hands. Boys, you might as well polish them little belts up and might as well just hand them over.
Well, as far as concerned right now...
What's the matter? You lost for words, boy? You lost for words? I told you that we were going to accomplish our goal, and that's exactly what we did. We got rid of one of the rats, and now we're going to get rid of a couple more.
Well, look, you do not have the match yet, is what I'm trying to tell you. It is not.
What are you talking about? If they got any guts, they'll sign that before you blink your eyes.
Skinny to have any guts.
Yeah, you got that right. I hope they get 15 more, because we are going to take care of it. Those titles are going to come to us, pal.
We're discussing Wrestling 1 and 2, and what they did to the Tonga Kid. Bob Armstrong is saying the collarbone is broken. We'll have to check on that match for sure as far as the Fall Spectacular in the arena, that match being signed. But Bob Armstrong will be defending against Randy Rose for the Continental title. A lot of action in the Fall Spectacular.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is one fall of 15-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left at 225 pounds, Les Freeman. His opponent, 237, Atlanta, Georgia, Randy Rose.
Randy Rose returning to Southeastern Television Wrestling and returning to the arena as part of the Fall Spectacular. Taking on Les Freeman. Rose, side headlock by Freeman. Rose is one that I guess the best way to describe it, you've heard the style catch as catch can wrestling. This guy is catch as catch can in, outside the ring, anywhere, anything can happen.
A spinning belly-to-back suplex. I tell you, I heard his interview, and Randy Rose hadn't changed a bit since he's been here before. Big tour of the West Coast. He won the America's Heavyweight Championship out there as his singles partner. But his main claim to fame here in the Southeast has been tag team wrestling. Now, on 16 different occasions, he's had that belt around his waist with Norval Austin, with Ron Bass, with Dennis Condrey, and several other partners. But as a singles wrestler, as you can see right here from the way he's tearing up Les Freeman, Randy Rose is no slouch either.
Sticking that knee in there, choking Freeman over in that turnbuckle. Certainly, I hope we can get some kind of an update on the situation of Tonga Kid.
Rose drilling that knee right to the bridge of the nose of Les Freeman, and he hasn't let this guy get up. You see that he can wrestle as well. You saw that drop toe hold. He floats right up to the arm, but somewhere inside this guy is a mean streak about a mile wide. We've seen it come out several times before here on Southeastern Wrestling.
And if you've ever seen someone that can take punishment of all types in one night and keep going, there's something deep down inside this man that keeps going. Nothing stops Randy Rose.
Yes, you got to say that for him. He doesn't quit. But you got to give him credit now for coming back his first matches in the area. He had such a record on the coast that they gave him a shot with the Continental champion Bob Armstrong right off the bat. Whoa! Les Freeman looked like he had a little something going, but Rose was ready and waiting with that knee when Freeman charged the corner.
Boot to the ear. Putting it right into the side of the head on the ear. There's that knee. One vicious individual in the ring right now.
Well, you can hear some of the obnoxious things he's got to say to the people sitting on ringside. Freeman, don't ever sell this young guy short. He's a ball of fire himself, a couple of rights and a drop kick, and we may see a little turnaround here in this match, Charlie.
Full body slam by Les Freeman on Randy Rose, and Rose coming up from nowhere, right into the throat. There you go.
There's the style of Randy Rose. Another way to put it. When you least expect it, he'll come up with something from somewhere, usually not too legal, to turn the match around.
Well, that's quite obvious.
Bob Armstrong will definitely hit. I think he may have opened up his nose on that one, Charlie.
Wrestling 1 and 2 out here just moments ago, as you saw, showing the type of sportsmen they are. It's really, right into the lower chest area goes Randy Rose with a chop.
And Freeman fighting for everything he's worth out of the corner, trying to stop the assault of Randy Rose, and he may have him stunned right here.
Rose now backed off in the corner.
Rose says, wait a minute. But Les Freeman, he's been around enough to know that when you got this guy going, you better not stop for a second or you're going to be in trouble. Double leg sweep from Rose, and Freeman's back down on the canvas again. Still to come, we've got the Alabama champion, Porkchop Cash, Jimmy Golden in action, plus the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. A big hour today on Southeastern Wrestling.
Rose not allowing the pin on Freeman. Side headlock by Freeman, being hurled into the rope. Big shoulder smash. Freeman again puts Rose to the canvas now. Oh! Did you see that?
A leaping clothesline from the middle of the ring, an easy cover. And the big win for Randy Rose, his first time back. And as he sometimes likes to put it, high style on Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
He is definitely victorious, Rick, in this situation. And the style has not changed, as I can see. Randy Rose, your winner of the match. Right now, what's this very important word?
Probably one of the biggest weeks in the history of Southeastern Championship Wrestling is coming up this week, the Fall Spectacular, one of the largest cards ever promoted by Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Two of the stars that you'll see there, one, the new Alabama Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Porkchop Cash, and the Continental Heavyweight Champion, Bob Armstrong, back from defending his title in several parts of the country. They'll be on the Fall Spectacular, as well as two gentlemen who are not quite so popular. We're speaking about, of course, Arn Anderson, and a new but old face here in the Southeast. Here's Randy Rose.
You know, Randy, it's first of all my pleasure to welcome you back. It's good to see an athlete, a man with true courage. Well, I'm fired up around here, and everybody else is fired up, but let me tell you one person mostly that's fired up. That's P-head Jerry Stubbs. Now, he is now a Parks Peanut. Now, we're going to be part of a Fall Spectacular, the biggest card probably booked this whole year. And you got a chance at Bullet, Bob, and I know you got a little bit to say.
That's right, folks. Don't touch that dial on that TV because you're not hallucinating, and it's not a mirage. It is true. Randy Rose is back. And Bob Armstrong, Continental Champion. Remember me, baby? Bad blood runs deep. Don't forget.
Remember, fans, no increase in prices for the Fall Spectacular. Alabama State Champion Porkchop Cash will be there.
You know, Dave, I'm glad to be the Alabama champion. I'm glad to be here. So I want all the people to come on down. Look, I'm going to defend this the best way I can. And I want to wish Bob Armstrong a lot of luck. And, brother, I know you can do it.
Thank you, Porkchop. I appreciate it. You know, Porkchop came right in and won that Alabama title, and thankfully, I've had that Continental title for some time. Randy Rose has just popped back in. Maybe I can hold on to it. Fall Spectacular, he's been on the West Coast doing real good. Maybe I can hold on to it. We'll find out this week in the arena.
What a card it's going to be, the Fall Spectacular. Probably the biggest card ever promoted by Southeastern Championship Wrestling. There will be no increase in prices. It's a special way to say thank you to the fans at home that make this year such a success for us. The Fall Spectacular, be looking for it this week in the arenas. Ladies and gentlemen, this match one fall, a 10-minute time limit. Now in the ring at 225 pounds, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Paul Brown. Opponent at 240 pounds, Washington, D.C., the Alabama Heavyweight Champion, Porkchop Cash.
The new Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Porkchop Cash, taking on Paul Brown. This is our third match. A lot of great action still to come. Jimmy Golden will be in action, as well as the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, and a host of others. You stay with us. Bell sounds, we're ready for action. Collar and elbow. Porkchop Cash pushing Brown away. Brown very cautiously going in. Quickly, after arriving in the Southeastern Wrestling area, Porkchop Cash, of course, captured the Alabama State Heavyweight Championship, and our congratulations to Cash on that victory.
Well, I tell you, the fans at ringside, special dispensation of the National Wrestling Alliance who won it in Pensacola, Florida, and the people there went absolutely bananas. The first time they'd ever seen the Chop before. And when he and Austin Idol pranced around the ring with the Alabama title.
Please excuse me just 1 minute, gentlemen. I'd like just to say one thing. You know, the Tonga Kid's collarbone is definitely broken. But I've got one thing to say to this team of wrestlings, and that's the Rat Patrol is just getting started. I've called my brother Steve. We're going to make him an honorary member of the Rat Patrol. He's going to come in. We will definitely be there. Please, by all means, change that card. If you do anything, you change that card and stick the Rat Patrol with the 1s and 2s, and we'll have at it.
Well,
I'll tell you what, let's see if we can make a telephone call a little bit later in the show. Make definitely sure that, boy, Porkchop Cash got about 4 feet in the air with that elbow. But we'll do a little investigating and check and see about that card change that the Rat Patrol Incorporated wants.
Cash working away at Paul Brown. And we do need to see for sure Rick's going. I hope to make a phone call right now. Hired right by the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Porkchop Cash, who will be on the big lineup, the Fall Spectacular in the arena. No increase in admission. Rounds, punches into the muscular build of Porkchop Cash.
And what muscular development on this Porkchop Cash, huh? That massive chest and those, I believe he's got 19 or maybe 19.5-inch arms. You can see the ease that he drills Paul Brown into that turnbuckle with. This man will be hard to stop as the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion.
Face first in the turnbuckle, Brown for about the 3rd time now. Snapmare takedown by Porkchop Cash.
I'll tell you, Charlie, I sat down in the dressing room right after he won the Alabama title. I sat down and talked to Porkchop for just a couple of minutes, and he seemed to feel like he jumped into the middle of a fire because of all the different things that are going on here in the Southeastern area. I realize that's in bad taste after what happened to Jerry Stubbs. You know, nothing personal intended there, but the situation that's going on is just in the boiling point. Here we've got Jerry Stubbs injured. There's a lot of titles on the line, names coming in from all over the country, including great stars like Porkchop Cash, and it's one of the most fevered times in Southeastern wrestling history. Plus, we just learned from the promotion that we can look forward to seeing a man who is actually the original image from the Road Warrior movie, the Lord Humongous. He's 6'6", over 300 pounds, and this guy, you just have to see him to believe him.
As interesting note on that, I have heard comments made before, Rick. This man has been barred from many wrestling units. He is something else.
Well, I think they've decided to give him a license for the Southeast. We saw that big butt bump from Porkchop Cash. There's his trademark headbutt, and that is it for Paul Brown.
The Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Porkchop Cash, winner of the match. Rick and I were just talking moments ago during that match about the situation with Jerry Stubbs. There also was another injury. That was the injury to Billy Spears. These two subjects will be covered in our personality profile. It's coming up next. You stay with us.
Here's a summertime weather extra from VRC6 meteorologist Mike Royer.
When the forecast calls for thunderstorms, take it seriously. Hi, I'm Mike Royer. Always follow these safety tips. Stay indoors. Unplug major appliances. If you're caught outside, don't take shelter under an isolated tree. Get away from open bodies of water and stay away from farm equipment and metal vehicles. A little caution could save your life.
Another weather extra from the people you know best. VRC6 News. Consumer problems?
I didn't I like to get the runaround.
Frustrating red tape.
They just kept saying that there's no way that two people could have the same Social Security number.
6 on Your Side can help. Write us a letter explaining your problem, and we'll do our best to help.
Didn't know where else to turn.
Watch 6 on Your Side reports with Janet Hall every Monday night on VRC6 News at 6.
Welcome to today's Personality Profile. The Fall Spectacular coming to the arenas of Southeastern Wrestling. Probably the biggest card ever promoted by international sports. No increase in prices for you, the fans, and a host of world-class stars, including a man who's no stranger to anybody here in the Southeast.
That's right. Tell him, Rick Stewart, don't touch that dial. You ain't hallucinating, and you ain't having a mirage. Randy Rose is back, and I'm standing here with class. The only time I ever stand is with class, Mr. Anderson. And when you see me next, Mr. Armstrong, I will be wearing your pretty little belt.
Randy Rose does have a match with Bob Armstrong for the Continental Heavyweight Championship on this Fall Spectacular.
He is the best of the Express, if you know what I'm saying. Reflect back a little bit, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Let's talk about a little something between the two of us right now. There was a tag, Frank, I'm surprised to see you here. There was a tag match that you agreed that the loser would go ahead and leave town. You were pinned in the match, but you're still here.
Well, this was a gentleman's agreement, right? No papers were signed, but I was the only gentleman in it. Ain't nobody pinned me.
Let's watch the videotape. We've got a piece of videotape about this exact match. Losing team splits. You and Jerry Stubbs agreed that if one of the two of you got pinned, the man who lost would leave.
Well, I wasn't planning on my own partner causing me to get pinned, if you know what I mean. Day in, day out, I've been telling you, he's been the missing link, the weak link of this whole deal. I've been carrying him the whole time, and every week, week in and week out, he has cost me money, he has cost me prestige, and, well, as you see, once again, who beat me right there, my own partner?
It looks like an Armstrong, 1, 2, 3.
Well, they couldn't beat me by themselves. You got 1, 2, 3, count P-head in, that's 4, 4 against 1. Even a man as good as I am can't beat 4 people. Unless, you know, of course, if I really wasn't feeling good, you know, I probably could have that.
Well, that's besides the point. Let's just say that I guess the gentleman's agreement didn't quite work out the way these gentlemen...
I was the only gentleman in there. I agreed if they pinned me, then I would leave. Now, I took care of him. I got rid of him. He's gone. People don't want me to leave. I'm a man of honesty, and I said I would leave if they pinned me. They did not pin me.
Mr. Anderson,
so I'm not going anywhere.
Later in the evening, there was another match that took place that didn't involve these gentlemen at all, but it saw both men involved in this match. A match that occurred between Austin Idol and Boris Zurkoff. If we could go now to the Houston County Farm Center in Dothan, Alabama, and take a look. It's Southeastern title on the line, Idol and Zurkoff.
Well, as usual, Idol's up to his old tricks. He's cheating. He's up on the top rope. That's illegal, isn't it? Right there, punching, using fists. That's not a wrestler. That's punching. That's illegal tactics right there in front of you on film. Idol is notorious for that.
Well, we'll see exactly what started all this controversy in a second. Austin Idol, it looks like he had a win. He stepped in, he put on the Las Vegas leg lock, and here comes Billy Spears.
Well, Billy Spears is history now anyway. He leaves a lot to be desired. He's out of here. We don't need to talk about Billy Spears. The main thing is Idol's been sticking his nose in my business out here week in, week out, running his mouth about Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs. Arn Anderson's got an attitude problem. I made Jerry Stubbs more money than he's ever made, got him more publicity than he's ever had.
Now, here you come with a pair of scissors in your hand.
That's exactly right. That's my business. And what does Stubbs do? He sticks his nose in my business again. Now look at him. Now watch him. Punch me. I'm his own partner. Don't put your hands on me. Hit me twice. Now, as you see, you want to dance, you got to put your 50 cents in the jukebox. He hit me. I'm going to take care of it right now.
This is the event that just set the wrestling world on its ear.
On fire. On fire, if you get my pun.
I do, and I think we'll just go on with the commentary on this. It looks like a little crowded. So there was no call for this. This was a little too...
Let me tell you something, Rick. People go to the races to see the crash. They go to the boxing match to see the knockout. They come to the wrestling match to see the man go down, 1, 2, 3. Now, how I choose to do it, if I want to parch this peanut, that's my own discretion. Okay. He's cost me a lot of money. I took care of it. He's home with his head wrapped up with gauze and Vaseline. I'm standing here golden brown, looking good as usual, making money. Now, how he feeds his family is his own problem. He's cost me all he's going to.
Okay, you know, you're entitled to your own opinion.
That's
but
exactly right.
We managed to go to the home of Jerry Stubbs. We took the television cameras with us after a couple of tries. Jerry let us into his home, and we do have these comments from the home of Jerry Stubbs. If we could, let's hear what he has to say about his situation.
You know, Rick, you tried to come into my house several times earlier this week, and I didn't have anything to say. I didn't know what to say or how to say it. When something like this happens, what do you say? Who knows? I don't know. I didn't know what to say. My kids asked me, Dad, what happened? What do you tell them? You tell them somebody that they call Uncle Arn, a guy that sit at my table, eat my food,
played in my swimming pool with my kids. What do you tell them? Then you see a little tear run down their eye. They can't believe it. They're just like me. I can't believe it either. I knew you were having problems. People asked me, said, Jerry, why didn't you take care of this weeks ago? You knew it was coming to this. No, I didn't know it was coming to this. I knew something was bad wrong, and I knew he had problems. I got problems. Everybody's got problems. I thought maybe he could work them out. It's hard. This is real difficult making, even talking about this.
Okay, I'm tired of listening to that. Get off. Let me tell you something, Stubbs. I don't care what you tell those two kids of yours. Tell them the grill blew up in your face. Tell them you did what you usually do. You fell over your own clumsy feet on the furnace. I don't care. But what I am going to tell you is there's no more team. No more team. I'm going to depend on myself. Now, you start at the top. You start at Bob Armstrong. Go right to the bottom. I'm the man to deal with. I don't have to deal with flaws. I don't have to deal with weak partners. There ain't a man here can beat me head on head, 1, 2, 3. So anybody in this area, get it in your head. I'm not going anywhere, and nobody you can bring in can get rid of me. I'll leave when I'm good and ready. Stubbs can do whatever he wants to. He can join the circus. He already looks like Bozo. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to step out of here and go on about my business, and you and everybody else can stay out of my face. I've accomplished what I want to, and I'm done with the whole works.
Oh, Mr. Anderson's entitled his opinion. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of Jerry Stubbs. Standing by in another studio, Charlie Platt is with the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol to talk about another very important event that just occurred here in the Southeast.
It's Fall Spectacular this week in the arena, and Austin Idol will see action against the Russian Boris Zurkoff again.
And I'm looking forward to it, Charlie. But, you know, there's one thing that's a pretty important factor here. He'll be less one Billy Spears, if you know what I mean.
I'm glad you brought that up. We have some videotape. In fact, it involves the match in which we saw in the first part of the profile with Boris Zurkoff and you in the ring, what happened to Jerry Stubbs, and what happened to Billy Spears happened just moments after the Stubbs injury took place. And let's go to the Houston County Farm Center in Dothan, Alabama now and find out exactly what did take place to Billy Spears. And it was a type of situation, Austin, where you've had enough of this man. You've seen what had happened to Stubbs, and you knew Spears was the culprit in all of this.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Jerry Stubbs for coming to my aid, because, you know, it kind of makes me wonder if Billy Spears had intended, of course, to cut my hair and possibly burn me with the fire, and by Olympia coming to help me out, unfortunately, he caught the fire. And I just want to thank you, Jerry, wherever you're at, and I just hope you a quick, speedy recovery, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back here in the very near future. You know, but there's one thing for sure. I don't believe anybody's going to miss any Billy Spears. We know Rip Rogers is gone. I knocked him cold with a tire iron. Billy Spears, there's no question about it, has suffered a broken leg. We don't know exactly the magnitude of it. And I think we've seen enough here. I cranked up on that figure 4 pretty good, darling. I had it in my mind I was going to get rid of Billy Spears, and believe me, he's gone. There's something more important right now that I want to talk about. I want to talk about one filthy, stinking, communist Russian. You know, there's no question about it. This is an agricultural area. And I'm sure everybody knows that if it wasn't for the American farmer, that the Russian population wouldn't even be able to feed their own, Charlie. Do you realize it is a proven fact, it is a statistic that Russia receives 80% of their wheat. We're looking at a 100-pound bag of good old American wheat right here that is exported every single year to the Soviet Union from the American farmer. Without the American farmer, Russia would no longer be. I want to bring a man in right now real quickly. Porkchop Cash. Come on around, Chopper.
How you doing, Austin?
Good.
I look like you fired up, brother. You know, I will be fired up, too. You know, I saw what happened. I saw exactly what happened. And nobody can tell me no different. But Austin, I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm in your corner all the way, brother. Look, whatever you do, brother, I'll stand behind you.
That's all I want. You know, very briefly, very briefly, the other day I was at a shopping center. I saw a T-shirt in the window that said, Austin Idol, an American hero. On the picture of that T-shirt, had an American flag and a picture of Austin Idol. I've never asked the wrestling fans here for anything, Charlie. I've always had mutual admiration, mutual respect between the fans and Austin Idol. I'm asking one thing, that for everybody right now to join hands. I'll take care of the Russian in the ring. All I'm asking y'all is to come on and give me that support. I'm going to drive him out of this country. Believe it. He's gone. Come on, let's show him what America's all about. Come on, let's do it.
Southeastern heavyweight champion Austin Idol, part of the Fall Spectacular this week in the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match won't follow a 10-minute time limit. In the corner to my left, 237, Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Golden. His partner at 210 pounds, Panama City, Florida, Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn taking on Jimmy Golden. Bell sounds. We're ready for action. Collar and elbow, center of the ring. Golden putting his man up over on the ring ropes. And a clean break on the part of Jimmy Golden. Going for that Boston Crab early in the going.
And hey, he just wrenched him into that Boston Crab. Very hard to put a guy in a Boston Crab when he's absolutely fresh right out of the dressing room, but Golden has gone to digging deep right in. Fortunately, Richard Dunn has found his way to the ropes. The referee, Larry Brock, called the break. Charlie has gone back for a couple of minutes to try to get on the phone to somebody from International Sports and clear up exactly what's going to go on with this card for the Fall Spectacular. As soon as he gets back, we're going to try to let you know something about the situation that's going on with the Tonga Kid. We already know that he's got a fractured collarbone, but the Rat Patrol wants a title match with 1 and 2. 1 and 2 want that title match, so we'll just have to see. Maybe in the next couple of minutes we'll know something. Jimmy Golden now with that reversed face lock on Richard Dunn. He posts the leg, digs in deep. Dunn manages to come out pretty good. Just got a count of 1 on Golden, but from a very, very difficult position to get around with. Still to come, of course, the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol, the Southeastern Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, and more news on the Fall Wrestling Spectacular. Plus, we're looking forward to the Lord Humongous, the original Road Warrior. Charlie's back. Anything?
The match has been changed.
Has it?
Yes.
Okay,
Wrestling 1 and 2 will face the Rat Patrol.
Okay, so that'll make it Southeastern Tag Title, the Rat Patrol against Wrestling 1 and Wrestling 2.
A lot of changing having to go on the lineup of the Fall Spectacular. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the program. And the Wrestling 1 and 2 will face the Rat Patrol Incorporated.
Larry Brock signals that Richard Dunn is out from the sleeper hold. He's called for the bell. Of course, now it's Jimmy's responsibility to wake Mr. Dunn up. We're using that. Wait a minute. From the back comes somebody. Droll Jimmy Golden in the back of the head. He's got something all over his face. Wait a minute. Sleeper. Whoever this is from the dressing room.
Wait a minute.
What? He nailed Larry Brock right into Jimmy. He's headed right back. But what was that?
I don't know. It happened rather quickly.
Somebody, let's see if we can get Jimmy over here. Jimmy, do you have a second? What?
I'd just like to say one thing. Vic Rain, I've been watching for you, brother. I've been stabbed in the back a lot of times, and not today, baby. I don't know if it's Vic Rain or not, but I'm going to be watching for him.
Okay, Jimmy Golden has his speculation on who that was in the ring. We'll be back with more action in just a moment.
Saturday night, hot Saturday night, cooks to you on a hot Saturday night, refreshing cooks to you.
Monday night at Boutwell Auditorium, it's the Fall Wrestling Spectacular, probably the biggest card ever promoted by South.
Excuse me, Rick.
Okay, John.
I just want to say one thing to you, Wrestling 2 and Wrestling number 1. You definitely succeeded in cracking Tonga Kid's collarbone. Well, let me tell you something. Scotty's back there on the phone right now talking to his brother, and we're going to make him an honorary member of the Rat Patrol, and we'll be there to defend them titles wherever we're at.
Monday night at Boutwell Auditorium, a big match for Jimmy Golden with the Ontario Mauler first. Let's talk to Tommy Gilbert and the Ontario Mauler.
Rat Patrol, two guys left. You know, in Birmingham, we're going to really find out just exactly how much guts you got. I don't think you've got any, because I think you're running behind. And there won't be no problem for you to hide, because you won't have to hunt a hole. You can hide behind the ring post. But just come on. I hope one of you's come out there, because somebody's going to get hurt. And then the Mauler.
Hurt is my game! Jimmy Golden. Look at this. Look in here if you have the courage, which I doubt very much. Because walking in there is dirt, baby. I mean dirt and blood! Because that's what you're going to make everybody do, because you have to go through the lawyers. You got to go through the courts. You can't do no fighting for yourself. So I'm going to have to do the fighting for you and me. While I'm fighting you, brother, I'm going to rip your face all apart. But I'm going to be real nice and gentle about the whole thing. I'm going to give all you people in Birmingham everything you deserve. A piece of that 6'5" coward.
Monday night at Boutwell, Jim.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Vic Rain has been sending on Terry Mahler and whoever else he can get down here, and I've been knocking them out right and left, brother, and I'm going to continue. I don't know who this space cadet or elephant man, you might call him, over here is this time, but I'll knock that beak off of your face, buddy boy. In Birmingham, you be ready for a fight. Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our television main event. One fall with TV time remaining. Now in the ring from Tampa, Florida, Jimmy Backlund. His opponent, 242 Las Vegas, Nevada, the Southeastern champion, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol.
Austin Idol taking on Backlund. Out of Tampa, Florida, the bell sounds. We're ready for action almost. Fall spectacular in the arena. Don't dare miss it. No entries in admission.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be there at ringside for those matches, and it's going to be a big, big night for Southeastern Wrestling and for the fans here. Single leg pickup, he swept the ankle, and Austin Idol takes Jimmy Backlund down to the canvas in very, very definitive fashion. Austin and I were talking just a couple of minutes ago about this reputation of the man who is the original Road Warrior, the Lord Humongous, 6'5", 300 pounds, and a tower of muscle. And Austin pointed out to me again something that I'd heard a rumor of, that this guy had been suspended in New Zealand, he'd been suspended in Australia, and from most of the regions here in the United States. However, he is signed to come into the Southeastern area. We're really looking forward, I guess is the right word to use, to taking a look at this original Lord Humongous. Idol high catches a clothesline on Jimmy Backlund. All clean and legal maneuvers from the Universal Heartthrob, who has taken it on himself to become the standard of the American way here in the Southeast. And really, you can't hardly blame him, because a guy like Austin Idol, a man that the young kids especially look up to hold down a role model for them to look forward, something for them to pin their hopes and dreams on, and he carries it off real well. Figure 4 leg lock, the Las Vegas leg lock, spells the end of Jimmy Backlund in short order on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. A big win for Austin Idol.
The Universal Heartthrob and Southeastern heavyweight champion will be back with more action in just a moment.
Don't miss the excitement when the Fall Wrestling Spectacular comes to Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium this Monday night at 8 o'clock. U.S. Junior title, the R.A.T Patrol and Tommy Gilbert, Arn Anderson and Mike Jackson. Alabama State title, Porkchop Cash meets the Eliminator. Special event, Jimmy Golden and the Ontario Mauler. Then, Southeastern Tag Team titles, the R.A.T Patrol Incorporated defends against Mr. Wrestling number 1 and Mr. Wrestling number 2. Continental Heavyweight Championship, Bob Armstrong and Randy Rose. Plus, for the Southeastern title, Austin Idol defends against Boris Zurkoff. Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium.
That's your official new card for the Fall Spectacular. We'll be talking to the Rat Patrol and Austin Idol in just a second. But first, here are the words of Mr. Wrestling number 1 and 2 and their friend Boris Zurkoff.
First of all, we've done what we set out to do. We got a title shot. We got rid of that little foreign boy with the greasy hair. And might as well shine the belts up, boys, and bring them on down and hand them to us, because there's not going to be no match.
Rats coming out of the woodwork. Rats coming everywhere. We don't care how many rats you got, because you don't have enough of them. Because we are the exterminators, and that's exactly what we're going to do to the rats. So get all you want. The titles are coming to us, my boy, and you can bet your life on it.
Austin Idol, you're a coward just like your country. A year ago, they stood your plane down, and you do nothing. I've embarrassed you. I have humiliated you. You've done nothing. And in Boutwell Auditorium, Idol, I'll put you down. And when I hit you with that Russian sickle, you'll just be just like a plane. You won't get up. I'll make a communist out of you in Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, first of all, is there any more word on how Tonka's doing?
Yes, collarbone's broke. Yeah, I hope they're proud of themselves. They broke Tonka's collarbone. But what we've done is we've gotten in touch with my brother Steve, and he's going to come down here, and he's going to show you gentlemen what this is all about. If you think you're just starting it, you're right about that. You are. You're just starting it. What you are is a couple of backstabbing Pillsbury doughboys that's done stuck your nose where it didn't belong.
The thing about what you've done, you messed with the Rat Patrol. We've been 3 guys. We've been together for some time now, and you don't hurt neither one of us and get away with it. You want a title shot? You'll have a title shot right there in Boutwell, and we'll be there. You can bet on that.
It's the Fall Spectacular Monday night, a big match for you against the Russians.
You know, Rich, you can feel the intensity here. You can see what's happening. People are getting burnt. People are getting their legs broken. I'm talking about Billy Spears. He's gone. People are getting knocked out by tire irons. I'm talking about Rip Rogers. He's gone, too. And then a big jerk from the Soviet Union is going to stand out here and make fun and jokes about a heat-seeking missile that shot down a Korean airliner with innocent people on it and laugh about it. I don't know about you, but I don't like it. They call it the Fall Spectacular, Rick. And in Birmingham, Idleham, somebody's going to fall. It's going to be you, you big Russian slime. I'm going to pay you back for those people.